It's a stormy night. Y/N, finishing her third back-to-back shift, is about to leave when the ER doors crash open. A man, unconscious and covered in blood, is wheeled in. No ID, no name. Just cold rain on his skin and deep bullet wounds. Y/N makes the call to operate, despite protests. Something in her heart says he deserves a chance. Nurse. The police should handle this. He's not clean. Y/N. He's bleeding out. We don't get to decide if someone deserves saving. The surgery is a success. The stranger wakes up slowly. Silent. Alert. Watching. He says nothing, but Y/N can feel his eyes follow her. They don't plead. They study. She checks on him every few hours. First because it's protocol. Then because she can't stop wondering who he is. And why he doesn't seem afraid of death. Y/N to herself. Most patients cling to life. He stares at it like it's an old enemy. After 3 days of silence, he finally speaks when Y/N brings in food and forgets to knock. His voice is low, rough, but calm. Jungkook. You again. Y/N. Lucky you. Most people would be tired of me by now. He gives a tiny, amused smile. The first crack in the cold wall he's built. Jungkook begins talking, but only to Y/N. Never to nurses. Never about himself. He listens to her stories about childhood, family, the loneliness of hospitals. He learns her routines. Notices the way she taps her pen when thinking. The way she smiles when she forgets she's tired. And for the first time in years he feels something like peace. Jungkook. Why are you still here? It's past midnight. Y/N. Because you still haven't eaten. And I hate wasted food. Jungkook softly. You talk like someone who's been forgotten before. Jungkook wakes up from a nightmare. Gunshots, blood, betrayal. Y/N is there, calming him without asking questions. He sees her fear, but also her strength. She doesn't pry. She doesn't judge. She just holds his hand. And something inside him shifts. Jungkook. What would she do if she knew the truth? If she knew who I really am? And why do I care? Jungkook tells the hospital staff his name is Min Jae. A false identity, but just enough to avoid attention. He pays in cash, insists on minimal paperwork. Y/N is suspicious, but something in his gaze stops her from pushing. She doesn't believe his story. But she believes in him. Y/N. You don't have a real name, do you? Jungkook quietly. I don't have a real life. Just moments like this. Y/N finds herself lingering in his room more and more. They begin sharing little things, music, jokes, memories. Jungkook listens like no one ever has, and when he speaks, it's only to her. He watches the way she lights up when she talks about her late father, a kind doctor. Jungkook thinks, if I were a better man, I'd stay in this world with her. Y/N. You're different when you smile. Jungkook softly. That's because you're the only one who's ever earned it. Late one night, a suspicious man enters the hospital. A thug sent by Jungkook's rivals to confirm if he's alive. Jungkook senses danger instantly and vanishes from his room before Y/N can return. Y/N walks in and finds the place empty, confused and heart-pounding. Hours later, Jungkook is back in bed, bruised and limping. Y/N panicked. What happened to you? You were gone. Jungkook calmly, just needed air. Don't worry. I'm not done here. Y/N doesn't know it, but ever since that night, Jungkook has had his men watching the hospital, just in case. She's walking alone after a shift when someone approaches her too closely, until they suddenly back off. She'll never know Jungkook gave the silent order. No one touches her, not even a whisper. Jungkook. She saved me. I'll burn the city before I let anything happen to her. Y/N visits Jungkook during a night shift break. She finds him sketching roses in a notebook. She smiles and says, You don't talk much about yourself, but you feel so deeply. He wants to tell her everything. The blood, the danger, the real reason he can't stay. But he just says, "Jungkook, you wouldn't like who I was before this. I only started becoming someone else. The day you touched my hand." Jungkook has healed enough to walk around. He meets Y/N in the hospital garden during her break. It's the first time they're outside together. Fresh air, fading sun, soft wind. She laughs at something he says, genuinely, and he freezes. No one has looked at him like that in years. It's not fear, not respect, just warmth. Inner monologue, Jungkook. I've ordered hits. I've burned down empires. But this smile might be what kills me. Dialogue. Y/N. You look like someone seeing the world for the first time. Jungkook. Maybe I am. Y/N trips while reaching for supplies in the storeroom, and Jungkook, now stronger, catches her. For a moment they don't move. Just eyes locked. She places her hand on his chest, over the scar she helped stitch, and their breath sinks. He leans in, but stops just before their lips meet. He knows what would happen if he let her in. Dialogue. Jungkook, horse, don't fall for me, angel. Y/N. Too late. One of Jungkook's enemies finds out he's still alive and sends a message. An attack outside the hospital on a delivery van meant for Y/N. Jungkook intercepts it before she even knows. Later, she finds a small cut on his hand and worries, but he brushes it off. He hides the truth. The body he left in an alley to keep her safe. Jungkook. I'm dragging hell closer to her with every day I stay. But walking away feels worse than death. Y/N begins to notice strange things. Men in black suits hanging around the hospital entrance. Calls Jungkook, doesn't answer. His eyes scanning every room like a soldier. She tries to ask, but he gently deflects. That night she can't sleep. Not because she's scared, but because she knows her heart is already too involved. Y/N to herself, you're hiding something. But I'm not sure if I'm afraid. Or already too far gone to care. Jungkook finally opens up, just a little. He tells her his real name. John Jungkook. No titles. No mafia. Just a man trying to remember who he used to be. Y/N searches his name later. What she finds scares her. He's not just a man. He's the Jungkook, the infamous mafia leader whose name is whispered in criminal circles. She stares at the screen, hand trembling, as her heart cracks in disbelief. Y/N stares at her laptop screen. John Jungkook. The name she found doesn't belong to a patient. It belongs to a mafia king. Arms smuggling, murders, gang wars. Headlines that don't even feel real. Her hands tremble. She closes the laptop, but the image of him in that black suit lingers in her mind. So different from the man she shared coffee with just hours ago. Y/N. I treated a man who kills people. I laughed with a murderer. And I let him in. The next day, Y/N walks into his hospital room. Heart pounding. She doesn't smile. Doesn't speak. Just watches him like he's someone else. 'Cause now he is. Jungkook notices immediately. He stands uncertain. For the first time she looks afraid of him. And it breaks something in him. Y/N, barely whispering. Who are you? Jungkook softly. Someone who never wanted to lie to you. But someone who never got to choose. Y/N keeps her distance. She's not ready to hear reasons. She needs air, space, something to make sense of what she's learned. She walks out without a word. Later, alone in her office, she gasps into her palms. She trusted him, let herself care. And now she's afraid to even close her eyes. Y/N. I treated a man with blood on his hands. I wanted to kiss a man who may have ordered someone's death. Gunfire tears through the hospital that evening. A targeted ambush. Jungkook's enemies found him. Screams echo down the halls. Y/N dives under a desk, paralyzed. Then he appears. Bleeding, furious, protective. He grabs her hand and pulls her through back corridors without explaining. Y/N panicking. Don't touch me. Why is this happening? Who are these people? Jungkook grimly. They came for me. But if I don't get you out, they'll take you too. They escape in a black SUV. Y/N is silent in the passenger seat. Arms crossed, jaw clenched. Her white coat is stained with blood, though none of it is hers. Jungkook doesn't speak. She won't even look at him. When they reach the safe house, she steps out without waiting. Her body is trembling. Y/N. I helped you because I thought you were a victim. Not because I wanted to be dragged into your world. Jungkook quietly. You saved me. And I destroyed your peace. I'm sorry. She doesn't answer. Not yet. Y/N wakes up in the safe house guest room. Tall windows, unfamiliar silence, a locked door from inside. He checks her phone. No signal. Her hospital bag is here, but her home feels a lifetime away. She walks into the living room and finds Jungkook waiting. He doesn't try to come close. Y/N shaking. Am I a hostage? Jungkook. No, you're safe. But if you walk out now, they'll find you. Y/N. I'm not sure what's more terrifying, them or you. Y/N spends the day pacing the room. Every word he said replays in her head. She looks around, armed guards outside. Silent men nodding at Jungkook like he's a god. That night she finally speaks. Y/N. I don't know if I can be near you. Everything about you is wrong to me. Jungkook softly. I know. I wish I'd met you before I became this. Y/N goes into the kitchen, sees a drawer left open, knives inside. For a second, her hands hover over them. Not because she'll hurt him, but because she wants control. Defense. Line. Jungkook watches her from the doorway. Jungkook quietly. If you need it to feel safe, take it. She grabs the knife, but doesn't point it. Y/N near tears. I saved a man's life. I didn't sign up for blood, guns, or war. Jungkook. I know. But now you're in it. And I'll protect you. Even if it means keeping my distance. Later that night, Jungkook looks at himself in the mirror. Bruised, bandaged, scarred. He remembers her touch back at the hospital. How her hands never shook then. But now they do. Inner monologue, Jungkook. She looks at me like I'm a stranger. And maybe I always was. Meanwhile, Y/N tries to sleep in the guest room. Every sound outside makes her flinch. She clutches the knife under her pillow. The house is too quiet. Too strange. Y/N sits in a guest room corner with her knees pulled up, crying quietly for the first time. Not from fear but grief. Grief for her old life. Her trust. Herself. She wants to go home. But she knows there's no normal anymore. Meanwhile, outside her door, Jungkook leans against the wall, head bowed, listening. But he doesn't knock. He lets her cry. Because he knows. This is all his fault. Y/N wakes before sunrise. She quietly slips into the hallway, avoiding cameras. She remembers the layout Jungkook showed her on the first day. Ironically, he wanted her to feel safe. Now she uses it to escape. Side door. Slope behind the trees. No guards in sight. Inner monologue, Y/N. I won't be caged. Not by a killer. Not by a man who says he's protecting me while holding me hostage. She walks for over an hour toward the nearest village road. She finally reaches a small roadside cafe. A trucker offers to help her get to the city. She hesitates. Until she sees a photo on his dashboard. A familiar symbol tattooed on someone's arm. One of the rival gangs. Her stomach sinks. Too late, they've seen her. The man locks the truck doors. Stranger darkly. You're the girl, right? The doctor. Him. John Jungkook's got bad taste in secrets. He kicks the door. Screams. Outside, a black SUV screeches to a halt. Jungkook gets out, gun already raised. His men surround the vehicle. It's over in minutes. The enemy captured. But Y/N is frozen. Not by relief but by shock. He storms to her, his voice low and raw. Jungkook. Do you understand now? You're not safe. Not here. Not without me. Y/N angrily. You think this proves something? It proves you've dragged me into hell. Jungkook. I dragged myself there long ago. You were the only good thing that ever wandered in. They drive back. The SUV is silent. Jungkook sits beside her, not saying a word. She sits stiffly, arms crossed, staring out the window. But in the reflection she sees it. Not rage in his eyes. Just pain, regret, exhaustion, and something dangerously close to love. Inner monologue Y/N. He doesn't need to cage me. The world outside already wants me dead. But I still can't forgive him. Back at the safe house, Jungkook dismisses his men. No guards, no locked doors. He places a phone, keys, and cash on the table. Jungkook quietly. If you still want to go, take these. I won't stop you. But next time someone finds you first, I might not get there in time. Y/N in a whisper. You think I'll stay out of gratitude? Jungkook. No, I'm hoping someday you'll stay because you trust me. Even if I don't deserve it. She doesn't touch the phone. Not yet. That night, she finds Jungkook in the study. Not doing deals or giving orders. Just sitting in silence. A framed photo in his hand. A woman and child. He doesn't hide it when she walks in. Jungkook quietly. My mother. And my brother. They died because I hesitated once. I never hesitated again after that. Y/N softly. You chose violence. Jungkook. I chose to survive. It's not the same thing, but it's close. Jungkook gets a high fever from his untreated wounds. He hides it until he collapses on the stairs. Y/N rushes to him. Instincts overriding her anger. She brings him back from the edge again. But this time her hands do shake. Jungkook weakly. Still mad at me. Y/N gently while stitching him. No. Still scared of you. That's worse. But she doesn't leave his side that night. Days later he takes her to the rooftop at dusk. No guards. No threats. Just city lights below and silence above. Jungkook. Every night I think about what life might have been like if I'd never picked up a gun. Y/N. And, Jungkook, I wouldn't have met you. It's the first time he says something that softens her fear. Just a little. She finds the phone, keys, and cash still sitting on the table where he left them. Untouched. She picks them up, thinking she might leave after all. But she doesn't walk toward the door. She walks to the kitchen instead. Starts boiling water. 2 cups, like she did in the hospital. Jungkook enters quietly. Y/N without turning. I'm not staying for you. I'm staying because I don't run from my patients. And you're still not healed. Jungkook low. Even now, you're still saving me. That night, Jungkook receives a message. One of his men has been tortured for information. The rival gang knows Y/N's name. Her hospital. Her address. They're going to use her or kill her. He clenches his jaw. Rage bubbles up. But now it's different. Now it's not just about territory or revenge. It's about her. Jungkook to his right-hand man. Tell every soldier. If they touch her, I burn their entire bloodline. Jungkook doesn't wait for diplomacy. He storms the enemy's dockyard headquarters with his top men. Brutal, clean, fast. He doesn't kill everyone. Just enough to make a statement. On the wall, he leaves a message written in blood. You come near her again, and I'll erase your name from this world. Y/N hears about the retaliation on the news. Gang violence, the anchor calls it. She knows exactly who it was. And why? She stares at Jungkook when he comes home. Face bloodied, jacket torn. Y/N shaken. You said you wouldn't drag me into your world. Jungkook tired. I didn't. They dragged you. I just made sure they regret it. Y/N. What are you becoming because of me? Jungkook. Everything I already was. But now with purpose. Y/N patches him up in silence. This time she doesn't lecture or flinch. Her touch is mechanical, but her eyes betray worry. Y/N softly. One day you won't come back from a fight like this. And I won't be able to save you, Jungkook. If I die, I want it to be after knowing you felt safe. Just once. She finally meets his eyes. And this time the fear is laced with something else. Compassion. Later that night, Y/N walks past Jungkook's room. She sees him asleep, for once, unguarded. No weapons nearby. No mask on his face. He's just a man. She walks in, covers him with a blanket. Just as she turns to leave, he stirs and grabs her wrist, gently. Jungkook half asleep. Don't go. She freezes, but doesn't pull away. Y/N sits in the living room alone, watching the night pass. Her journal in hand. She writes, I should hate him. I should run. But why does my heart hurt more when he bleeds than when he lies? The next morning she finds him in the kitchen, tired but alive. For the first time, she sits across from him without fear in her eyes. She's not ready to forgive. Not yet. But maybe she's ready to see him. Jungkook's men drag in a man caught near the perimeter. Tied, blindfolded, panicked. Y/N rushes over, only to freeze when they yank the blindfold off. It's Daniel, her ex-fiancé. Confused. Terrified. Daniel, panting. Y/N. What the hell is going on? Where am I? Y/N shocked. Why are you here? How did you even find this place? Daniel. You told your friend to watch your old apartment. She gave me the number you used once. Jungkook watches from behind. Unreadable, silent. Jungkook steps forward slowly. Every man in the room goes still. Jungkook calm deadly. You trespassed on protected territory. That's usually a death sentence. Daniel, stammering. I didn't mean to. I was just looking for her. I thought she was in danger. Y/N blocks Jungkook's path. Y/N firmly. No. You don't touch him. I'll handle it. Jungkook to his men. Untie him. Gently. He leaves in one piece. Y/N confronts Daniel in private. His eyes scan the luxury, the guards, the weapons. Daniel. You've changed. What is this place? Who is he? Y/N. You shouldn't have come. Daniel. You think this is normal? You're living in a fortress with a criminal. Y/N quietly. He saved my life. And he's kept me alive ever since. Can you say the same? He has no answer. Jungkook later receives word. The enemy gang has picked up on Daniel's movements. If he's not protected, he becomes a weak spot. Jungkook to his second in command. Place 2 men on him. Don't let him know. If they get to him, they get to her. His loyalty to Y/N isn't about ownership. It's protection. Even if it means shielding her past. That night, Y/N slips a note into Jungkook's study, knowing he'll find it in the morning. It reads, You terrify me. But not because of what you are. Because of how far you're willing to go for me. I don't know if I can love that. But I see it. And I feel it. Jungkook reads it in silence. He doesn't smile. But he folds the note carefully, places it in his inner coat pocket, like a weapon he'll carry into the next war. Bomb threat. Not for Jungkook's territory, but for the hospital where Y/N used to work. The message. You took what was ours. We take what was hers. Y/N is furious when she finds out Jungkook tried to handle it without telling her. Y/N. You don't get to decide what I can survive. Jungkook. I'm not afraid of losing a fight. I'm afraid of losing you. Jungkook makes the call to end the war. Permanently. He arranges a risky meet with the rival syndicate's leader under the condition. They come unarmed or don't come at all. His own men protest. Lieutenant. Boss, they'll kill you. You walk in alone. It's a death wish. Jungkook. They expect the monster. I'll show them a man with something left to lose. Y/N hears from one of Jungkook's men that he went in alone, without backup, without armor. To runs, not from fear, from rage. Y/N to herself. If he dies thinking I didn't care, I'll never forgive myself. She storms into the meeting site, heart in her throat, and finds chaos unfolding. Gunfire. Smoke. Betrayal. Jungkook gets shot in the arm as a deal turns into a trap. A second gunman aims for his head, but before the trigger's pulled, Y/N tackles the shooter with a metal pipe, screaming. Jungkook grabs her and shields her behind him, bleeding and shaking. Jungkook whispers, "I told you not to follow me here." Y/N crying, "Then stop being the kind of man I'd follow into hell." The sun is rising when they finally return to the safe house, bruised, exhausted and bloodstained but alive. Y/N collapses onto the couch, trembling. Jungkook silently takes her shoes off, wipes the dried blood from her face with a warm cloth. His touch gentle despite his own injuries. For a long time they don't speak. Until Jungkook stands and looks out the window, jaw clenched, fists curling at his sides. Jungkook coldly, "They tried to take you. They bled my men. Betrayed peace. There's no more negotiating now." Y/N looks up at him, startled by the shift in his voice. Quiet, calm, deadly. Y/N, "You already survived them. Isn't that enough?" Jungkook without turning, "I don't want to survive them. I want to erase them." He turns to face her, eyes dark but steady. "Jungkook, I'm burning their empire to the ground, brick by brick, until there's nothing left that can ever touch you again." Y/N doesn't try to stop him. She just walks over and puts a hand on his heart. Y/N softly, "Then come back when the fire's out, not before." He nods once, not as a mafia leader, but as a man with something to lose now.